We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And this carries into the end zone. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Time to go, night. Watch the twist. Hey, 166.
On first down, Brady. He'll check that down to Carson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Brady. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Shotgun now for Brady. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Looking downfield for Godwin. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Chris Godwin with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Bucs have taken a first quarter lead. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Buccaneers 7. Vikings.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. A former Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
He's tackled at
defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
He's tackled at the 32-yard line. A 3-yard gain on the play brings up third down.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Call it a pickup of 3, and also now likely a punt on their opening drive. So on fourth down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Back deep, Jadon Mickens. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession, and certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game.
And a loose football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
On the play, recovered by Minnesota.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
The ball carrier.
And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
At the Bucs 15-yard line.
A give. This is Cook. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
Dalvin Cook.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
And it's third down.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Now they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
7-yard line.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. He's at the 50. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm now...
Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Tom Brady with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes, and the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Cousins gets this one out wide quickly. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run. 0 hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, it turned into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Touchdown.
Adam Thielen. with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And that one makes it 14-7.
Makes the score Buccaneers 14.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Brady going to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
10 at the 38-yard line.
How about the first quarter he's putting together out wide? Pretty impressive.
I think that he likes the fact that we're playing this as a day game. You know, some guys, they respond better in the evenings for some reason it builds up. For this guy, day game, and he is off and running. You're exactly right. 100 might be conservative with the start that he's had here in the first quarter.
Yeah, by the numbers, he's on pace for 200-plus right now. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 47. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
From midfield, here's Brady. Looking downfield for... It's caught inside the 25. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. On 1st down, Carson. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Vikings 22-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Here's Brady to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a 1st down.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Check, 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 check.
Brady now to throw. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Chris Godwin doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. The first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35.
1st down, Minnesota.
The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7 our score. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10.
28-yard gain. First down.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll run for it with Cook. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Here is Cook on 3rd and goal. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So it's an old school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Jacob Hollister.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 3rd down, it's Carson. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
40-yard line.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Brady now on 1st down. Looking downfield for Godwin. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Here's Carson. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Chris Carson with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Makes the score Buccaneers 28. Vikings 10.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. Taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
First and 10.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. On second down, it's Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down.
And it's pretty evident when you watch how Minnesota plays, just how important Dalvin Cook is to their offense. 1,000-yard rusher a year before, the first one the Vikings had since Adrian Peterson was dominating their carries. And having Cook in the lineup for the bulk of the season, that made Minnesota exactly what their head coach Mike Zimmer wanted them to be. A much more physical team that complemented their defense.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Minnesota.
Cousins on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
On second down now, it's Cook. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Here's Mickens to return. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And this belongs to the Vikings. He was trying to do anything he could to get that final little bit for the first down. Instead, he lost the ball.
Yeah, and he was short of the first down, but not by much. Trying his best, as you noted, to get there. Sometimes that extra effort can cost you. partner. They're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellows in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Brady. Looking downfield for Godwin. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Escaping the pressure right. He's got his big tight end, Gronkowski. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
14-yard line.
Brady now on first down. But the Brady-Gronk connection, certainly something to watch here with the Bucs in 2020. Of Tom Brady's 541 touchdown passes coming into 2020, Gronk's 78 were the most of any receiver.
At the 9-yard line.
From the 9, 2nd and 5.
Check. Watch 54. Switch. Check 43. 72.
Now Brady again. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit.
A 32-yard attempt.
And Gay knocks this one through. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. Taken about 7 yards deep, and Abdullah will not try to bring it out. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. The drive starts with a completion left side, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Brings up
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing, Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Brady going to fake the give to Jones and set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
I'm going to come back to you.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. Carson, the 1st down and more. And he's going to get this all the way down to the Vikings' 19-yard line. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 44 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Into the red zone, it's Brady. And that is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Brady's incompletion on 1st down leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Brady. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Brady. Looking for Godwin, but it's intercepted. The rookie Cameron Dantzler picks it. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. A rare pick six thrown by Tom Brady. He'd thrown only 14 regular season pick sixes in his career coming into this season. A couple others in the playoffs, the one to Robert Alford in Super Bowl 51. And you might remember the Titans' Logan Ryan doing it late in the wild card round loss a season ago. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Brady's throw there complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
To Scotty Miller.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Flush, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
So Brady and the Bucs need to work a little magic. 3rd and long after that last sack.
Mike, 53, Mike.
Working from the gun, it's Brady. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
After the run, here's 2nd and 8 from the 27. Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking 1st down. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Vikings.
Cousins pass.
B.C. Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Shotgun now for Brady. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Looking downfield for Godwin. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down.
Brings up
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 29-yard line. That'll put him up over 160 yards receiving now for the game. They can't seem to stop it.
Whip. Watch the whip. Kill. Help him. Watch out.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Chris Godwin, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The 2nd and 10 now as we roll along in the 3rd quarter from Tampa. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 16 yards, a 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
24.
Brady. Godwin's got it. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady. And the Buccaneers here finding a way to stretch their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
38. Vikings.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. Fielded in the end zone. And Abdullah will not try to bring it out.
10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there. And it's 2nd down.
So much for the best laid plans and best designed plays. That was good coverage along the sidelines. No place for that one to get in there. It sails incomplete.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Touchdown.
Dalvin Cook. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score game.
The kick is good.
So that's a really big play here in the 4th quarter. And don't look now. They're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just one score.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
The handoff to
good gain there on first down and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 2.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Brady gives this one off to Jones. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Carson. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. They run again with Carson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
On the carry.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
7-yard line.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. The give is to Jones. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 3.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They run it with Carson. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Buccaneers.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
That's a 41-yard
Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
An excellent pickup of 20 yards. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. 5 touchdown passes now for Tom Brady, and the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offensive sails, because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, it doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 3rd down, Cousins. Open man as Thielen is complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Cousins now from the 50. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, so much for getting separation. No chance there. Locked down tight, forcing the incompletion on that attempt.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Cousins again. He goes right back to Jefferson, and this one complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 23. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
First down, Vikings.
That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 10 more there and another first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. B.C. Johnson, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown.
Makes the score Buccaneers 45, Vikings 38.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. Second down now.
2 yards on the pickup. It's second and 8.
The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
Third and 2.
On third down, Carson. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout, as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They run for it with Carson. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic, a lot of fun to watch.
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. They're going to take this up close to the 40, so really good starting field position. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to...
This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A big play there for Minnesota. 52 yards. And this is caught. He's got it for a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, it's all going to come down to a 2-point conversion. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
Bailey got the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And the Bucs are on this one. And that should just about do it. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now this one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Brady on the keeper. A loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Vikings' 45-yard line. Today's final.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Tampa Bay, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-5. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's a loss that could have implications on the playoff race as they fall to 9-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.